What's up, you guys? It's Graham here. So initially I was going to title this video "The Best Way to Invest in Your Teens." But then as I was planning out the video, I realized, wait a second, anyone can do this at any age, regardless of whether or not you're a teenager. So I retitled the video, and this video is really directed towards anybody who's looking to invest without any money. Yeah, I said it, you guys, absolutely free, with no money involved. But you know what else is free? Hitting that like button. And also making sure to subscribe and smash that post notification bell, because lately the YouTube algorithms have not been showing all of my videos to you guys, and that makes me very sad. So make sure to hit that bell button so YouTube actually hopefully notifies you that I post a video. Just 3 times a week. So anyway, let's get into this video. So here's the way I see it. An investment doesn't always necessarily need to be a financial one. An investment, by definition, is simply devoting your resources to a particular undertaking with the expectation of a worthwhile result. And no, I don't have those just memorized off the top of my head. Google helps me a little bit here. But with that said, sometimes the best investments you can make are not monetary. These are things that you don't need to spend any money on. Instead, these are investments in other areas of your life that could eventually come back to you financially. So let's discuss some of the best ways that you can invest without having any money, whether you're rich or broke, at any age. This will literally work for anybody watching. The first investment that you can go out and make is investing in knowledge. Now, I don't mean going out and buying Tai Lopez's $997 course, or even better than that, my Real Estate Agent Academy, link in the description, because honestly, if you have absolutely no money to start, this really isn't the best place to begin. Instead, I would recommend that you invest in yourself with knowledge with entirely free resources when you're first starting out. YouTube is entirely free and the results are pretty much endless, and all you have to do is watch a 5-second ad that's probably from Tai Lopez or Alex Becker. You can also look at anything you want to learn on Google. Pretty much the sky is the limit. You can also buy books really cheap on Amazon if you choose to buy them used, which is pretty much like the same thing as new. I mean, you may as well just buy used books. Literally, some of the best skills that you can learn require nothing except your time and dedication to actually learn them. For instance, if you want to learn how to code, go to codeacademy.com. There you go, entirely free resource. Want to know how to make YouTube videos? Well, you have a phone you're probably watching this on, or an iPad, or you have something that has a camera on it. Go and watch YouTube videos, learn how to make videos, and then record with what you have. Or even if you want to become a real estate agent but you have absolutely no money saved up, well, the good news is that I have a playlist filled with like over 20 or 30 videos on how to become a real estate agent. And if you can scrape together less than $4, you can buy a used copy of The Millionaire Real Estate Agent on Amazon by Gary Keller. And I might end up getting some backlash here, but I really believe that most people can get a better education learning from Google and YouTube than they can from spending money on a college degree, as long as they have the self-discipline to actually apply themselves. The reality is that college is very much a controlled environment. You're told exactly what you need to learn, when you want to learn it, and you're scored accordingly to how well you can temporarily retain information. But I found that once you go out in the real world, the reality is that no one cares. No one cares if you don't take initiative. No one cares if you're not a self-starter. No one cares if you don't apply yourself. No one cares if you don't live up to your full potential, besides maybe like your parents. If you don't do what it takes to get ahead, you're just not gonna get ahead. No one is going to tell you what to do, when to do it, gonna hold your hand and make sure you accomplish your goals. There is zero structure out there, except it's entirely up to you to make it happen. Now, side tangent here, but this is a perfect example to show you what happened to me firsthand. My first few days as a real estate agent working entirely alone, I walked into my office and I spent all day reading articles on Yahoo, CNN, and just browsing the internet. And I thought to myself, you know what, maybe this is just a slow day today. Tomorrow is going to be better. So I go into the office the next day, and the same thing. I spend all day just sitting around, browsing random things on the internet, wasting an entire day. The next day after that, my third day, I go up and I do the same thing in my office. I have nothing to do, so I just browse articles on the internet. And it was at this point that I realized, wait a second, I don't have anyone telling me what to do. It's up to me to decide what I'm going to do with my time instead of just wait around waiting for something to happen. And this is my first real experience that for the first time in my entire life, I didn't have anyone telling me what I should be doing. I had the entire day that I need to decide what I'm doing with my own schedule, and only I to determine what I'm going to be doing. So not only should you invest in knowledge, but you also have to have the discipline to actually go out there and use it. You really need to make sure that you can start on your own and you don't wait for other people to tell you what to do or give you permission to do something. Now, the second way that you can invest without investing any money is investing your time in learning. Now, that's a no-brainer. We're all spending time learning on YouTube. We're spending time learning anything. But one of the best things that you can do is spend your time working just for the experience. Because I promise you that those experiences will later become invaluable to everything else you do after that. Now let's first talk about the concept of working for free just for the experience. Now we each might have our different perspectives on this, but I really believe that that could be a huge advantage to grow your own experience, to continue learning, and to get into an industry that you otherwise might not have gotten into. Now quick anecdotal story time here, but when I was 13 years old, I was obsessed with reef aquariums, fish, and coral. And I met a fish store owner that owned a pretty well-known store at the time here in Los Angeles. And I went up to him and I was all nervous and I was like, hey, I would love to do anything I can to help out at your store. Literally anything that I could do just to help out. I just want to be around the process. And sure enough, the owner gave me a chance and said I could come in and help out, and my mom would pick me up after school on like Tuesdays and Thursdays, take me down to the fish store from like 3:30 to like 6, and I would help out for a few hours doing random things. I was talking like I would organize some things, I would make boxes by taping them together, I would clean algae by the sides of the tanks. I didn't want any money whatsoever. I just had a blast being able to work. And no joke, it was that job that seriously was the backbone and the foundation to absolutely everything I do today and everything I am today. For instance, the owner, Chris, was absolutely meticulous about customer service, even if the customer was bad crazy. And every now and then it was obvious the customer would complain just so that they can get a free order when in reality nothing was wrong with the order to begin with. They were just difficult and wanted something for free. But Chris always put the customer first. Always made sure that every single customer was happy with their order. Even if the order went horribly wrong and everything showed up just dead, which rarely ever happened, but if it did, for whatever reason outside of our control, he would make sure that the customer was fully refunded and everything was corrected so that the customer in the end was 100% happy. Chris also took the approach to always give more than whatever the customer expected. We would actually throw in free things with the customer's order that we knew they would like. We would increase their order size. We would give them things that were better than what they'd expect. Even with the coral that we would ship out, we would make sure the coral actually looks better in person than what they expected to order. So that way when they get something, they're like, whoa, what is this? This is way better than what I thought. And their expectations are always exceeded. It was this early experience that I had by simply working for free in the very beginning that really gave me such an appreciation for customer service and being able to provide more so that the customer is happy and they come back to you many, many times. Now, the second job that I had after that one was an absolutely horrible experience, probably one of the worst experiences I had in my entire life. But I got that job because I sent them an email offering to work for free, and that got their attention to actually hire me and end up paying me. Now, even though that job didn't last very long, it was that job that taught me the invaluable experience of learning what I don't want. And to be completely honest, if it wasn't for such a horrible experience at that job, I wouldn't have been as motivated as I am right now to do anything in my power to forever avoid that for the rest of my life. So if you have the time and you have the opportunity to get your foot in the door in an industry you wouldn't normally be able to get into just by working for free for the experience, I highly recommend that you do it. Now, I don't recommend working free forever because eventually at some point you deserve and need to get paid. But in the very beginning, don't let money get in the way of a good experience. I've learned that the people out there who get the best opportunities are the ones who will take them at absolutely any cost, even if that cost is absolutely free. Now, the third way that you can invest for absolutely free is simply by growing your social skills. Now, this is something that very few people actually talk about that I think is entirely underrated that has made one of the biggest differences for me. Now, quick story time here, but in elementary school, besides my close little group of friends, outside of that, I was the shy kid. If I met anyone new, I would just totally freeze and clam up and get like super nervous and uncomfortable about meeting anybody else. In high school, in 9th grade, this got even worse because I felt like I just didn't fit in no matter what I did. I felt like I didn't have the same interests as everybody else. I felt that I was just different. I wanted to go and work and make money, and everyone else was just out there acting like an idiot, not giving a shit. And I just felt so isolated and alone, and I just had a very hard time relating to anybody else. But around 10th grade, I started becoming really miserable and really lonely. And it was at that point that I really made a conscious effort to go and put myself out there more and really grow my group of friends. So what I did, I started to speak up a little bit more often. I started interacting with people a little bit more often. I started giving people a chance instead of automatically just dismissing them because they didn't want to go out and work and make money. And what made the biggest difference is that when I started getting invited out, even if I didn't know anybody who was going to be there, I said yes to it. And you know, sure enough, even though I was so nervous about going to someone's house, not knowing anybody on my own, worried like, what am I gonna say and what am I gonna do and am I gonna be awkward and is it gonna be strange and am I just gonna get upset and leave? Those were usually the nights that I ended up having the best times. And before even showing up, I realized that just a few hours of being uncomfortable and maybe being a little bit awkward, maybe being a little weird, was worth it for the potential to make lifelong friends. But guess what? I mean, you do that a couple of times and yes, you become the awkward person who's there and you're just kind of socially weird and you just kind of stand there waiting for people to talk to you. But you end up doing that a few times. You end up warming up to the idea that, wait a second, like nobody's mean. No one's like making fun of me. No one's just like, ooh, who's that kid over there who's not talking? And eventually you start warming up to the point where you feel like you can talk to people, and then you do, and then you end up making great friends, and everything else after that just takes care of itself. So please, if anything, just make the effort to go out and socialize and meet people and grow your network. Having a great group of like-minded people will really be such a tremendous advantage and support in your life. And like they say, you are the average of the 5 people you end up spending the most time with. So really look at yourself and think, are these people helping me get to what I want? Do these people make me a better person? Do these people motivate me to do even more and push myself beyond what I believe is possible? Now, I'm not saying go out and ditch all of your friends, but I am saying that you should make a conscious effort to make sure that you surround yourself with people who are better than you in other areas that you might lack. Even when it comes to me, the people that I see the most often are usually doing way better than me. I feel like I'm the friend who just snuck in there, who's like that 5th friend who's at the very bottom of the totem pole in terms of like what other people are accomplishing. But this just seriously makes me so motivated to continue pushing myself and also just to see that what they're doing is even possible in the first place. And honestly, I wouldn't have even been in the position to even meet these people if I didn't take the initiative early on to grow and work on my social skills. Even now, a lot of people seem surprised when I say that I am not a naturally extroverted person, and even making videos like this did not come naturally to me. I don't like being around big groups of people, and as weird as this is to say, I don't like being the center of attention, and I definitely like and appreciate my space. But at the same time, I realize the importance of going out and networking. I realize the importance of turning on that extroverted switch when you need to. I realize the importance of really putting yourself out there to get to the next level of success. And this, you guys, is something that's entirely free to do. It just takes some time, some discipline, and you got to get over a lot of mental hurdles about being shy or worried about being awkward, just so that you can go and put yourself out there and not be concerned about it and meet the people you need to meet. Now, the 4th thing that you should invest in is learning sales skills. This is something where if you want a job just for the experience, the best experience I really believe you can get in your teens and 20s is sales. By far, sales is literally everything. Even if you're going to work a 9-to-5 job, you have to learn to sell yourself during an interview. It's so important to understand the human mind and psychology and figuring out what makes someone buy something, and how can you benefit them and effectively articulate that to whatever the customer is and whatever you're selling. Not only that, but sales is also very much customer service at its core. This is one of the very few things that could literally transfer to just about any industry out there. Sales is also something that's practically recession-proof. It can apply to just about any industry, in any location, in any age. Sales is sales. Sales is also an industry that's not capped or limited to a certain income level. What you make is pretty much entirely dependent on what you put in and how effective you are at actually getting the end result. This is really such a great mentality to have, to realize that your income is entirely dependent on your results and not your time. Anytime you want to start making a lot of money, you're never going to be paid for putting in 40 hours a week or 50 hours a week. And that's what your salary is. If you want to make a lot of money, you need to be paid entirely on the results that you get. All of a sudden, you become your own limiting factor. If you don't do something, you don't make money. If you do a bad job at it, you don't make money. It really pushes you to strive for more, to improve yourself, to constantly get better, to focus on the end result of what you really want. And again, that could be transferred and molded to just about any industry out there. So this is why I highly recommend going for sales. Even if it's something you can't see yourself doing for longer than a year, doesn't matter. Get the experience, because I promise that experience will help you with everything else you do later in life. So you definitely want to try this out. Get beat down, get frustrated, blame yourself, look at how you can improve, constantly push yourself, figuring out what works, get paid, and then constantly improve and work on that. It's really all about just utilizing what you have at your disposal to invest. And chances are what everyone has right now who's watching at some point or another, you guys have your time. Use this wisely. Invest your time in something that's going to pay you back tenfold for what you put in right now up front. Work for free right now for an experience that you will remember and will impact you for a lifetime, that will benefit you in every single thing you do after that. Put yourself in those uncomfortable situations so that you can go and meet other people who will help push and lift you to the next level. Learn how to sell something so that you can effectively articulate and communicate with other people so that they can understand and resonate with it. And while this video is mostly targeted towards teens or people in their early 20s with time on their hands, honestly, this would apply to anyone at any age if they have time on their hands. Which everyone does right now is watching YouTube videos, because everyone who watches YouTube videos has time on their hands. Ask me how I know. So as always, you guys, thank you so much for watching. If you guys enjoy this, please, before you click out, just hit the like button. We need to increase the algorithms on my videos lately, because the YouTube algorithms haven't been promoting me and recommending me as much as they were last month. So we need to increase the engagement on these videos. So make sure to hit the like button. Also make sure to comment anything down below. I don't care if it's just like a letter you comment or like your favorite color. I don't care. Let's get some comments on this video. It would dramatically help me out. And also, if you haven't already subscribed, just make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell, because like I said, the algorithms lately have not been showing my videos to subscribers. I don't know why, but I definitely notice it. So make sure to hit that post notification bell so YouTube actually notifies you when I post, which is 3 times a week. Also make sure to add me on Snapchat and Instagram. I post there pretty much daily, so if you want to add me on there, feel free to add me on there. And then finally, I have a private Facebook group in the description for anyone who's interested in real estate agenting, wholesaling, sales, just anything real estate. Add yourself to that. Thank you again for watching, and until next time.